So it's a wrap-up of event 4 of the British Kart Championships here at Shenington, and it's been an absolutely memorable weekend for the whole team, and especially for this guy next to me, Mitchell Gibbons. We can see we've got 2 trophies, and they're 2 winners' trophies. So for the first time, a double, I believe, for Mitch in the British Kart Championships. Now, I think we're just going to need to lead in with the fact that it's been all round a brilliant weekend for you, Mitch. Very significant because I believe you've taken the lead of the championship now, which is a very significant step for you. Now let's speak about race 1 first of all, because obviously there's 2 finals, you won both of them, but different kinds of races, because I think what we saw in final 1 was an absolutely superb bit of racing between the pair of you, both you and Kian Nakamura-Berta raced really well. It's loads of excitement for the crowd. Now how was that race for you, because you obviously had to take the lead on the last lap and then defend? I mean, how did you go about that?
I defended to the inside. Kian was on my outside. I thought he can get switched back, and then I underestimated him, and he just got on the inside of me.
Yeah, I mean it was a great battle. Now Paul, bring you in now, because Honda Cadet racing at Shenington it's fast, frenetic, but also very difficult. We've always said for any driver or drivers to break away from the pack. Now both Kian and Mitch in both races, but final 1 in particular, they drove away. They worked together very well, and then they had that traditional sort of method in the race of break away and then race on the last lap. You must have been delighted with how much drove.
Yeah, no, obviously the start is the most important part of the race around Shenington, because you've got to make sure you get a jump. You've got to make sure the first 2 laps are as good as the middle of the race. But yeah, take my hats off to Kian. He worked a great race with Mitchell, worked with him. They switched positions on that first final with about a minute to go. Obviously Mitchell covered his line not well enough, and Kian did a switch back going into the middle chicane. Mitchell got him back, and they gave each other a good fair racing room. Kian went in too hot, locked the brakes. Mitchell done the undercut, went round him when Kian hit the curb, and covered the line into the check flag. So brilliant.
And then it was job done. Then we obviously went on to final 2. To get a double in any form of motorsport is incredible. I think to do it once again, Honda Cadet racing so close, a brilliant achievement, Mitch. So final 2, if we recap, really the sort of same thing. The 2 of you had the pace, you worked together, you broke away. Obviously a slightly different end to the race, because I think first of all concerns go out to both Alfie Thompson and our own teammates, obviously Ewan. Involved in an accident. I believe that both were okay, which is the important thing, so that's obviously the most important aspect of that. But obviously at that point you held the lead and defended resolutely, I think, against Kian for the whole race, and they're long races in the finals here. So we speak about final 2, obviously pre-red flag. How were you approaching that race? Were you almost under the expectation, I suppose, of going for the battle in the last couple of laps, or was it almost turning into a defensive drive from the start? How do you really approach that one?
Me and Kian managed to get away. He was pushing me through most of the race, or the whole race, because it got stopped. But just before it got red flagged, the other 2 behind us were catching us. So.
Yeah. Okay. So and that's really, I suppose, a sign of how Honda Cadet racing can go, because you almost have a train of karts, don't you? For two drivers to break away at all, it's difficult, isn't it? And I think we saw great defensive driving through some of that from Mitch.
Yeah.
Because Kian wasn't going to let him get away with it easy, was he?
No. Obviously, making sure everyone's okay after that incident. I know Ewan's okay, so hopefully Alfie Thompson's better after that incident. But yeah, Mitch controlled the race again. It was like a mirror effect, really, from that first final. They worked together very well, got away, and there was battles for, say, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, and they were both in train. So it's very important to work together, have respect for the other driver, and understand where their limits are to enable yourself to race at the end. And obviously, Kian and Mitchell have done a great job. So yeah, I'm really happy. Obviously, it ended a bit early. I'd like to see a fight near the end to see who come out on top, but by all means, we took the win, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think probably just looking ahead, we don't want to. So not about tempting fate, but I think it's safe to say it's going to be a battle royale for the rest of the season. It's going to be really thrilling and exciting for all of us watching on. Now, from your perspective, I don't want to ask the obvious question about how you want the next 2 races to pan out. I'm sure that you've got the ambitions, obviously, to take this all the way, but from your perspective, 2 rounds to go, Kimbolton and Wilton, both good circuits for you, you've shown the pace. Looking ahead to Kimbolton, you feeling confident for that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and do my best that I can and see if we can get the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you're certainly going the right way about it at the moment. Very well done. I think it's worthwhile as saying that 2 trophies there on the table, brilliantly driven and deserved by Mitch, but as always, lots of partners, lots of help that I know that we want to give a shout out to. I think the motors were fantastic as ever from RPM. Great preparation from the guys there. The kart spot on. I know that obviously we've got a great relationship with the guys at Project One. And I suppose for you, Paul, thanks to all of them, really.
Yeah, no, thank you for everyone who's helped. Obviously, Mitchell this year, as well as the team, really. Going forward, we couldn't have done it without any of them. Obviously, we've had a tough year. This is very, very rewarding and makes it worthwhile. And this is why I do it. This is what I want to see. I want to go to the race weekend, win, more satisfaction, and it brings me into a good week, following week for sure.
Brilliant. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for the rest of the year. Mitch, well done. Brilliant drive today. And on to the next one.
Yeah, congratulations, Mitchell.
What else?